Good morning, Red Fern family. It's a beautiful, hot Saturday morning. I wanted to take a quick opportunity to show you kind of an updated video of how to connect your tow vehicle to your trailer. So a couple of things that are very important. All of the units will come with an electric jack and a 7-way Bargeman plug. This one's from Levanter. It's very flexible. It's one of the cold versions, which is good down to, I believe, -30, which means it's not like a frozen garden hose in the wintertime when you're trying to hook up. So we have this docking station here that we provide on all the units. That way, even though you see the water where it sprinkled last night, this stays nice and dry, which is very important when you plug it in so you don't blow any fuses. Now, a common problem that we have is that the power for the jack, and I'm going to extend that and just show, is that it derives its power from the auxiliary, which is the number 4 pin. Now, most trucks will have that connected, but even brand new trucks sometimes either don't have that connection made or they're missing a fuse. So please have this thing completely checked out and inspected before you show up, because there's nothing worse than us having to bring out the cart of shame where we can plug it in here and test all of the components, electrical components outside for the trailer. But it has to have power in order for it to function. So intuitively you would want to start with it in this position, but this is incorrect. You need to keep it in the down position. So as we lower it down onto the ball, you will see it actuate and lock into position. Just like that. Now that is completely locked in. Now, there is a hole right here that most people would say, hey, I need a pin in that to make sure that it doesn't jump off. That is not what this is for. This is for a safety feature to keep it from being stolen. So you do not have to have a pin in here, even though you can buy one. Now, our preferred setup for these is always for the tow vehicle to have some type of adjustable ball on their hitch assembly. This can be like this, or you can have a weight distribution hitch, as this customer has right here. Now, to me, this is a lot better setup, because if you pan back, this has the generator, the fuel cell, and the 2 propane tanks. So we have a tremendous amount of tongue weight here that needs to be mitigated for the tow vehicle. So having a weight distribution hitch will alleviate all of that. So if you pan back down there, basically all we're going to do is just completely set this up onto the truck. And as you can see, this is a F350 and it's pushing it on down. And then ultimately you'll be connected. So it's very simple to do that. To release it, you pull this pin up. Okay, so now we're basically fully disconnected. So other features that we use, if you can zoom in on this, is your chains, which are rated for 18,000 pounds. Again, more than the actual trailer weighs, but it's important to go overkill on these so that you have the strength that you need. Now, we use a link lock system, which basically allows us to adjust the length of the chains by pulling this pin. We can pull the pin and take up slack, or we can extend it all the way out. So depending on how the tow vehicle is set up, we can make those chain adjustments without rolling the chain. Because one of the last things you want to do is roll that chain, because when you do that, you'll lose up to 60% of the chain strength. So by using these link locks, we can alleviate all of that. Then of course the last feature would be your brake controller here, which is set up, and then that just locks in independently of the chains. You'll see some people weave these through the chains, and that's wrong. This needs to be completely separate from the chains themselves. It needs to have a little bit more slack in it than the chain itself, so that as it's turning, it's not being pulled tight and not pulling that emergency pin. So that's basically it. I would say to you, if you don't have a way to test this completely, you can pick up some cheaper multimeters. I mean, this one's a little bit more expensive, but you can get some $5 and $6 versions that you can use to test out and make sure that you've got fire to all of your plugs, all 7 pins. And that's basically it. Thank you.